Alexa, stop. It's the middle of a very important pre-concert tradition, choosing the t-shirt that I'm going to wear. Well, it's too late. I've already chosen one. Masked Intruder. It matches my headband. Cobra Kai. No mercy. Sweep the leg. Hard to believe. It's been over a year since I've been to a concert last. The pandemic. I think it was February 2020. Pepper. Janice Live. Wow. And ironically, I'm going to probably the most controversial concert of my life tonight. Teenage Bottlerocket. You've probably not heard of them. They're a pop punk band from Laramie, Wyoming. I first learned of them Warped Tour 2014, 2015. And they just blew me away on one of the side stages. I was like, oh, these guys are really good. And then, yeah, they made international headlines just about a month ago.
In an effort to get more people vaccinated, a Florida concert promoter has devised a unique ticket pricing idea, charging just $18 for concert goers who are vaccinated against COVID-19 and almost $1,000 for anyone who hasn't gotten the shot.
All right, so it's kind of a joke if you think about it. If you're vaccinated, have proofs of vaccination, tickets are $18. That's normally what you'd expect to pay for a band like this and a show kind of like this. If you aren't vaccinated, $999. Obviously, it's a stunt. About a month and a half ago, a buddy of mine, an old coworker, had messaged me. He's like, hey, they're going to be in town. Do you want to go? I don't really know when I'm going to be in town, so I couldn't commit at the time. Lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, the media gets a hold of it, and it just goes viral because of that ticket price stunt.
Joining us now is Miguel Chen. He's the bass player and the tour manager for Teenage Bottlerocket. Okay, what was your reaction when you learned the promoter was going to be setting up the ticket pricing like this, Miguel?
Honestly, at first, I thought he was joking.
And of course, right after that, show sells out. No tickets for Jonathan. Dang it. Earlier this week, my buddy says, hey, my wife's not going to go. Do you want to go? Yeah, I want to go to a show. It's been a long time. So I'm able to go, and I decided, you know what, since this created so much controversy and made headlines all over the world, I'm going to do my first kind of behind-the-scenes vlog, as it were, using my 360 camera. So I'm going to see how this turns out. I've never really done this with this camera before. I've used it for a few videos in hurricanes, but in terms of a vlogging type of thing, I've never done it. So I have a lot of time on my hands right now, waiting for my project to be done. And I figured, why not? Let's try it. So this is my first time using this for this type of a format. And let's see how it goes. Well, my knight in shining armor has arrived. Let's go rock. What do you think about going to your first show, like post-pandemic?
This is something I've been waiting on forever, and it seems like my last show was Gasparilla Music Fest, February. It was literally the week before everything shut down, and it was the last time things felt actually normal. And even though there was a sense of unease, we still had a good time, and then everything shuts down, and now I have to try to find where skate park in Tampa is.
Yeah, do you know why they switched locations?
Yeah, the VFW caught a little flack from the anti-vax crowd, I guess, and they had it shut down. Ironically enough, the VFW caught some heat from the city for occupancy rates, and so we're making their signs their occupancy signs because of this show. So I thought, okay, well, you know.
Did you see the skate park's back there?
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah,
well, because I'm interviewing, getting interviewed. I missed it.
But, yeah, and you can park on the grass.
Oh yeah, that's exactly where I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I did not see it.
Yeah, what do you think about the promotion or the stunt that they were pulling with the vaccine thing?
I don't know. I think it worked for them in terms of promoting the local show, but it getting national attention, I did not expect that.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks, literally to the day of when you first told me about the show, and I hadn't bought a ticket because I figured, oh, you know, it's Teenage Bottlerocket. Like, in St. Petersburg knows Teenage Bottlerocket.
Right.
And, but I was like, wow, that's a crazy story. And then when I saw it on the national news, I was like, oh yeah, I can see how this could go national. Just because, first of all, it's Florida. And so it's like a Florida thing. And then, you know, vaccine stuff is so controversial and like all over social media. And of course, you know, there's still the debate about what's real anymore. Is this safe? Is it not? You're saying it's safe, but do we know? Because everything else you've said is a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
So, you know, and so yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it went national, but wow, what a crazy story. And now we're here at skate park of Tampa because the VFW was like, nope. And plus you have the vaccine passports. I'm interested just to see if they're going to try to do that, because that's kind of against law now, right? Yeah, I'd flip around the back there.
Okay.
Yeah, because here's it's full too.
Oh, there it is.
No, but you can park in this grass area.
Yeah. I will.
And it's free.
Yes.
I read, thanks Creative Loafing.
Yes, I read that story too.
Yeah. And I looked at the diagram. So yeah, anyways, through here you can park. Well, I'm in the most controversial punk rock show probably since the 1980s. And beautiful venue, perfect venue. This skate park at Tampa Bay, world famous in the skateboarding world. I have never been here. Huge indoor area over there. And then behind me is in a tiny little room. That's where the concert is. It's super loud. And of course, I didn't bring my earplugs. What was interesting, I did have to end up showing my vaccine card and ID to get in. I guess they really are punk rock, rebelling against the man.
I've been reading about this place since like the 90s in skate magazines. Living in California, I was like, fuck, Tampa is amazing. They have like, skate park at Tampa. This is like the first time I'm here. I've skated this in video
Tony
games.
Hawk, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm here now. It's fucking crazy.
Right, it's incredible, yeah. I said a lot about Florida though, like that so many things every day. It's like if I was a kid, like in my wildest dreams I wouldn't believe that I'd see it or experience it, or
It's insane.
that's why I like adulthood in a way.
Yeah. Oh dude, I know that one. He's dropping in, that's Chris Lesh.
Okay.
I saw him, this girl I used to work with, her husband has a bowl in his backyard. And so I went to their Halloween party and they had the skate contest during it, and he won it. He dressed like Daniel's son, like Karate Kid. And he was like busting all these moves like in a gi.
That's amazing.
He spent all of last year on the injury list. He had because I follow him on Instagram, he had a busted ACL, MCL, so he couldn't skate for like over a year. Wow. So like, he's like finally back at it.
Over here, the gator with the skateboard. I know there's gators, a lot of gators around here in this area, Tampa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This place, like reading about it in like skateboarding magazine, Thrasher, and Big Brother, I was always led like this is like the mecca of street skating and vert, obviously. This is it.
It seems bigger like on TV.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely seen this part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure. Like the other ones are just like generic to me, but this one, iconic.
Pissed off the flat earthers.
Yeah.
They all came after us, and we survived. So fuck them. It's like I unintentionally became the spokesperson for a pro-vax movement that does not exist. Anti-flag wakes up every day like, how do we get on CNN? And Teenage Bottlerocket's like, hey, no way, Ray, what's up?
Thank you, sir.
I think we can't go out this way.
Oh, it's a smoking area. Whoops.
Convenient.
They didn't come back out for a encore. I don't know if I've been to a show where that hasn't happened. I don't think I've been to a show where the headliner didn't come out for
At least like
an
one
applause.
song.
Yeah, like yeah.
You know, I kind of respect that though. I respect like no encores because it's kind of a cliche convention anyway.
Yeah.
You know they're coming back, and it's
true.
actually kind of cool when they don't. So like, more often than not, I'm like not disappointed.
Yeah. That was a good show though.
I enjoyed it. High energy.
High energy for sure.
What's up, dude? Good seeing you, man. He went to high school with my sister in Key West, so it's like so.
Wow.
Like he started showing up. I started seeing him at shows like at Fast in Gainesville.
Yeah.
And like my sister's like, oh, I know him. I went to high school with him. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
my sister's 10 years younger than me, so I did not go to high school with him. So we had no overlap.
Yeah.
But he knew my sister.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, it's like weird punk kids in Key West, man.
Oh, like 10 of you?
Oh, like 5.
5? That was like where I grew up. Like nobody was punk rock.
Nobody.
Like, no.
Oh.
I had to go all the way to Denver. That's
yeah,
why like
at
now
least
in
you
my like at this stage of my life when I'm able to go to a concert like in minutes
Yeah.
or like go to the Rays games in minutes. And,
Oh,
like,
I know. Oh.
If I was a kid, like there's no way any of that was happening because it was Colorado Springs, Denver, which is a 3.5-hour drive for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, we had to drive to Miami for shows, and so
Yeah.
like we
But
could
yeah,
never
that's
get a consensus on what show to go to, so
Yeah.
we ended up going to like some like lame reggae concert. We couldn't even get in, you know? We had like no tickets for it.
What was cool though, my mom, who was the last person you would ever expect to be into punk rock or ska,
Yeah.
she would come to all my shows when I was in high school and stuff. Yeah, and she enjoys, to this day, she'll listen to my music and like, she thoroughly enjoys that music.
Oh,
And
that's so
this is
cool.
like a world champion barrel racer cowgirl. And so she's, you know, but
Oh,
she
that's too good.
loves punk rock, she loves ska, you know, all bands, Less Than Jake. I don't know if she's heard of Teenage Bottlerocket, but I told her about them, so I'm sure she's gonna look them up. And
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad the family I married into, her dad and mom love going to punk or like rock shows. They don't go to like punk shows. But,
Yeah.
you know, if it's a good like major rock band like 9 Inch Nails or something, like they will come with us to these
That's
things.
cool,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's completely unlike what I grew up in.
yeah,
But
it's
at least
tough.
my mom was cool enough to drive me to Lollapalooza '94. So that
Wow.
set me on my way.
94. Man, I'll tell you what, you had an interesting life as a Navy kid though, eh?
Fuck
Let's
yeah.
go.
I was all over the country,
Yeah.
both coasts,
Wow.
always by the water.
Wow. good access to shows, and so I think the consensus is for sure we'd come back, see Bottlerocket, Teenage
Hell yeah.
Bottlerocket.
Oh yeah, I'll see them at Fast again.
And I think it was funny that, like, I mean, they talked about the pandemic, right? They talked about becoming the spokespeople of
Yeah.
the pro-vax or whatever.
Well, like it's weird, like you have a punk show and then you get national attention for it.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen. And they knew that. I mean,
Yeah.
And I liked how they like used Black Flag.
Yeah.
As an example of like a group that would like, or anti-flag, I guess.
Yeah.
Anti-flag, yeah. That, you know, of course, very political. You would suspect to be the band that absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah, that happens.
We make it.
So yeah, it was funny.
That was good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad, you know, not only they addressed that, but they made, you know, they had a really good spin on it.
Yeah.
You know, because it was all self-inflicted. I mean,
Yeah.
they could have just had a regular show, but you know what? They made a good point, and their whole deal was to get to a point where we can mosh and dance into each other, we have to be vaccinated. And that was the simple point they're trying to make. And I think that was effective, at least, because the only way music really happens is if people get vaccinated. Because, I mean,
Well, I mean, the only way that the
sweating over each
officials
other-
are gonna like, let it.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw me in the mosh pit tonight.
Yeah.
I had plenty of physical contact with people.
right.
But I mean, I'll be honest with you, Matthew. Like, I literally would have done this a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, you know, you look at the. I mean, I'm not gonna get into it too much because I don't really care. But I traveled so much last year. Give you a good example: 100 flights, literally 100 flights in the year 2000 or 2020. That's insane. Like, how many people? I don't know if many people. I'm like, if I first time in my life, I'm a 1%er. But you know, so working and being around so many diverse groups of people for the entire time, my pandemic was just a little bit different. It was
I mean,
a lot more normal, and I spent a lot of time in Louisiana.
Yeah, the weather doesn't stop, but still, like, again, if you looked at the signs, really, if you were masked up and you kept your social distancing, you were in a good spot.
I was outside a lot.
Yeah, you're
obviously.
Outside, right? But
This
a punk
hurricane
show
winds.
is a little more
The
intimate.
hurricane winds.
Yeah.
Blow all that stuff away.
Yeah, a punk show is a little bit more intimate to me, especially, you know, gosh, I mean, I'm seeing people I haven't seen in over a year. I'm embracing them. I'm getting crashed into by people in the pit. I would have not felt that comfortable a year ago doing that.
Yeah.
But I think with, you know, I don't know if it's a false sense of security, but again, being vaccinated helped me, you know, helped me like adjust to this new reality. So.
And I got vaccinated because I travel so much, and it'd be virtually impossible if and when, like, I mean, I could literally buy a ticket tomorrow and go to Europe. Yeah. And if I wasn't vaccinated, I couldn't do that.
No.
Without like an extensive like quarantine period, etc. I mean, I definitely had this virus at some point. It just didn't affect me. Yeah. I was more sick actually after taking the vaccine than I'd been in, like, in 2 years.
Okay.
You know, I was like a day and a half of fever, chills, and stuff. So, but you know, because of what I do, of course, I had to get vaccinated. I'm not a pro-vax guy. I'm not. You know, I just don't want to. Like, well, I'm pro-vaccine, like, of course.
Yeah.
People, you know, polio, hello. But my point of what I'm saying is, I don't look at this as politics. This should be a health.
It's a public health issue, and it shouldn't have been a political issue. And at no point did I think Teenage Bottlerocket make it a political issue. They just said logic dictates for people to be together at punk rock shows, and they should be vaccinated.
And they said, man, this is their first show in like 15 months, or not their first, but you know, they haven't been able to tour for 15 months.
That's
crazy. If you're a musician, like, especially at this level,
right?
That's like, how else are you gonna make money?
But the fact that they did this in DeSantis's Florida, which they announced this show before DeSantis passed his you can't inspect people's vaccination cards.
Vaccine passports.
His solution to a problem that didn't exist. They were one of the first bands to really acknowledge that this might be the case for at least the time being. And what kind of fucking position on us? No. We showed our IDs, we showed our vaccination cards. Not that hard, not big of a deal.
And I mean, let's be honest, play to your crowd. Like, the punk rock crowd isn't the most conservative crowd in the world.
Right.
So, and unfortunately, this whole thing had been made so political the entire time. And instead of, you know, letting science do its thing, letting health do its thing, and then we could actually trust what's coming out of, you know, these respective, what used to be considered like the utmost respected position in the land.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I think that, this was that was too bad, and I'm just glad that we're able to kind of get back to normalcy. Really.
A little bit, yeah. That felt really good. That felt really good. Just to see
for me,
people I know.
And I'll be honest with you, tonight for me, I felt like I needed earplugs more than I needed a mask. You know what I mean? Like, I was more concerned.
Yeah.
The first time in like a year and a half, I was more concerned about earplugs than like wearing a mask. Or did I forget my mask in the car? Like always, yes.
Oh, I was.
But I always forget earplugs too.
See,
and
this
that's
is
why
the thing. Like, this was like a camping trip for me because I hadn't been camping in so long. We were going to a punk rock show. I made sure I had everything I possibly needed.
You're literally like the Swiss Army knife of like concert friends to go with. Like,
yeah, I did not want to have a shitty time. I mean, I've been waiting so long for this that I was going to be prepared. That was great.
Trust me, he was the most prepared person ever. But anyways, dude, thanks again. It was so much fun. I hope that this whole like experiment is kind of cool and people enjoy it because
I hope so.
It's kind of unique. I like the mosh pit, just kind of again normalcy, just a sense of like you didn't really think about the pandemic. You just thought about having fun and listening to music and really like getting excited. So it was good.
Yes.
Thanks, Teenage Bottlerocket.
Thanks.